Another day, another story. ALIAMANU, a New Year's celebration, took a tragic turn after a massive explosion, caused by what officials confirmed were illegal fireworks, left at least 3 people dead and over 20 people hospitalized in critical and serious condition. First responders raced to a home on Kika Drive shortly after midnight. Welcome to Tabo Eminent Channel. Police said 2 women were pronounced dead at the scene, and a third woman later died from her injuries. Their identities have not been released. Honolulu Police Chief Joe Logan said police are conducting a preliminary investigation. Based on the preliminary review and nearby surveillance footage, evidence from the scene and witness statements, it appears that shortly after midnight, a person who attended the party lit an aerial cake, which is a container containing multiple aerial fireworks, in the driveway at the carport, he said. The cake fell to the side and the aerial shot into crates that contained additional fireworks, setting off what is the explosion that you saw on multiple media outlets and social media posts at this time. HPD's Specialized Services Division bomb unit recovered additional fireworks that did not explode, Logan said. The truth is that people had traumatic injuries so badly that brain material was across the sidewalk from the ferocity of this explosion, and we want people to hear that because that is what is really possible with these explosive fireworks, he said. Some of the deceased had injuries that were that tragic, that traumatic. We're talking about the worst possible war zone injuries that took their lives. And in the next couple of days, it's highly likely that some of the people that didn't even look that bad will die because their lungs were burned out, Green added. And that's what you happen to see when explosions happen right in front of you. Most of the 20+ patients transported to hospitals were critically injured with burns over much of their bodies, according to Dr. Jim Ireland, Honolulu Emergency Services Department Director. 3 children were among those transported, according to EMS. Ireland said an additional 10 to 15 people suffered what were considered minor injuries and did not necessarily require ambulance transport to the hospital. We did not actually transport a lot of patients with minor injuries, but I remember a 12-year-old girl with burns on her leg and some shrapnel, Ireland said. Officials call this a mass casualty incident. More than a dozen ambulances responded, and nearby Salt Lake Boulevard was shut down as medical teams set up a triage and a special area to transport patients. Mayor Blangiardi said, "Enough is enough." He said his administration is coordinating with federal and state agencies to strengthen law enforcement, impose tough penalties, explore new technologies, and implement a united effort to stop the import of illegal fireworks into harbors and airports. This incident is a painful reminder of the danger posed by illegal fireworks. They put our lives at risk, they drain our first responders, and they disrupt our neighborhoods, he said. We cannot allow this senseless danger to persist, and we will take decisive action to ensure the safety and well-being of our Oahu residents. Green also promised increased penalties and enforcement. These are not just fireworks. These are actually bombs, Green said. We are now living in an era where fires are less easily controlled because things are so dry, like we saw on Maui, he said. Can you imagine if we had 100 or 50 fires as a result of fireworks like this? We would not be able to respond to all of them, which means you'd have other collateral damage and casualties. So that's why it has to stop, and it's going to have to be all of us, all of us are going to have to accept the fact that aerials should only be done professionally, Green said. Videos taken from the ground and in the air by drones showed heavy smoke billowing over homes and filling the streets. A neighbor described what happened the moment the explosion occurred. I heard what seemed to be a low blast and I turned my phone to see what was going on, and it was a low blast, and then 5 to 10 minutes later a lot of commotion, ambulance, fire, police. It was pretty tragic what happened, Kent Thompson said. I'm still in shock from it, just from seeing the victims, Thompson said. My son's friend, he was running around frantic, and obviously something happened to either his friend or a loved one. I just wanted to be there to see if I could help. I know people want to have fun, and it is fun to light fireworks, but you need to think about the people around them, Thompson said. After the blast, a triage of ambulances staged as quickly as possible to prioritize those with the worst injuries and get them to multiple Oahu trauma centers. The tragedy also shook even the most seasoned first responders. "Just very, very sad, nothing I have ever seen in EMS," said Honolulu EMS director Jim Ireland. "Some of the folks who were here who have been to war, who have been in combat, said it reminded them of things they have seen in combat." Officials said there were not only burn injuries, but also blast-type injuries, so similar to what you would see to an explosion or a bomb, right? "So, you are seeing possible limbs missing, people being hit with shrapnel," said Sonny Johnson, Honolulu EMS paramedic supervisor on duty. Honolulu Mayor Rick Blangiardi issued a statement Wednesday morning expressing his sorrow over the tragic event and condemning the use of illegal fireworks, calling it absurd and unacceptable. He said in full, "It is with both frustration and sorrow that I address the tragedy that occurred last night in Salt Lake just after midnight on New Year's Eve. A massive explosion caused by what appears to be illegal fireworks claimed at least 3 lives and left over 20 others critically injured. This incident is a painful reminder of the danger posed by illegal fireworks, which put lives at risk, drain our first responder resources, and disrupt our communities. Year after year, a minority of individuals recklessly endanger us all. This is absurd and unacceptable. My administration remains committed to working with federal and state agencies to shut down this illegal firework trade once and for all. We will push for stronger enforcement, tougher penalties, new technologies, and a united effort to stop the import of illegal fireworks. Our communities deserve better. We cannot allow this senseless danger to persist, and we will take decisive action to ensure the safety and well-being of Oahu residents." Gov. Josh Green also offered his condolences and admitted that despite seizing 227,000 pounds of illegal fireworks, combating the issue hasn't been easy. Governor Josh Green also offered his condolences and admitted that despite seizing 227,000 pounds of illegal fireworks, combating the issue hasn't been easy. He issued a statement Wednesday saying, "On behalf of the state of Hawaii, I extend my deepest condolences to the families and loved ones of those lost in the horrific Salt Lake fireworks tragedy, and I pray for the full recovery of the injured." Green added, "Because combating illegal fireworks has been a priority, we established the Illegal Fireworks Task Force last year to identify and disrupt supply chains. It has seized 227,000 pounds of illegal fireworks to date, but incidents like this remind us of the ongoing challenges we face. We must continue to work together to prevent tragedies. I urge residents to report illegal activity and to prioritize safety. My administration remains committed to protecting our communities and preventing further loss." While my heart is heavy on this first day of 2025, EMS, the Honolulu Fire Department and the Honolulu Police Department have my deepest gratitude. All acted swiftly and heroically to provide care under extremely difficult circumstances. Thanks for watching. Request you to subscribe the channel.